If you thought Game of Thrones was intense, wait until you hear about the real-life drama of the Romanovs. Ruling Russia for over 300 years, they were the ultimate power family, caught in a tangled web of betrayal, murder, and scandal. And just like Westeros, their empire came crashing down in a storm of blood and revolution. Today, we're diving into the darkest secrets, the crimes, and the shocking fall of the Romanov dynasty. This is Russia's real-life goat. From corrupt emperors to assassinations and political conspiracies, let's explore the dynasty that ruled with an iron fist and lost everything in one of history's most brutal revolutions. The rise of the Romanovs. The Romanov dynasty started in 1613 after years of chaos in Russia. Michael I, the first Romanov Tsar, was chosen to bring stability to a country torn apart by war and rebellion. But from the very beginning, the Romanovs knew that keeping power in Russia wasn't just about ruling. It was about surviving. And survival in this world meant one thing: trust no one. Michael's rise marked the start of a blood-soaked family legacy. Power was everything to the Romanovs, and anyone who threatened their reign, they were dealt with fast. Just like in Game of Thrones, the court was full of betrayals, conspiracies, and backstabbing. But the real drama was just getting started. Peter the Great, the ruthless reformer. Fast forward to Peter the Great, the ultimate Romanov reformer and ruthless leader. Peter dragged Russia into the modern age, but he didn't do it gently. He ruled with an iron fist, and if you crossed him, you didn't live to tell the tale. Peter wasn't afraid to execute his own son, Alexei, after accusing him of treason. That's right, Peter had his son tortured, and some say he even gave the order for his death. Alexei's crime? Plotting against his father's reforms. It's said that Peter's paranoia and thirst for absolute power led him to destroy even his own bloodline. Catherine the Great, affairs, conspiracies, and a violent coup. Next we have Catherine the Great, arguably the most famous Romanov of all time. But Catherine didn't just stroll onto the throne, she took it by force. Born a German princess, she married Tsar Peter I, but their marriage was a disaster. Peter was weak, erratic, and hated by the Russian nobility. So Catherine did what any Romanov would do. She overthrew him in a bloody coup. Catherine's allies captured Peter, forced him to abdicate, and soon after, Peter was mysteriously killed. Officially, it was an accident, but let's be real, it was a power play straight out of Game of Thrones. Catherine took the throne, and Russia loved her for it. But that wasn't the end of the drama. Catherine was infamous for her many lovers and political maneuvering. She surrounded herself with powerful men, and her court became a hotbed of scandal. Gossip spread that her lovers weren't just helping her with matters of state. But what made Catherine truly dangerous? She ruled with both charm and brutality. Rasputin and the fall of the Romanovs. Now we go to the Romanovs' final act, the reign of Tsar Nicholas II, and the chaos that led to the family's brutal downfall. Rasputin, the mysterious Siberian monk who gained a bizarre amount of influence over the Romanov family. Nicholas and his wife Alexandra believed Rasputin had magical powers and that he could heal their son Alexei, who suffered from hemophilia. But Rasputin's power over the royal family wasn't just about healing, it was about control. The Russian nobles despised him, and rumors spread like wildfire. It said he was controlling the Tsar through dark magic, seducing Alexandra, and bringing chaos to the Russian Empire. It didn't help that Rasputin lived like a rock star, drinking, womanizing, and defying the nobles openly. The nobility had had enough. In 1916, a group of Russian aristocrats plotted to kill Rasputin. They lured him to a dinner, poisoned him, shot him, and even threw him into a frozen river, just to make sure he was dead. But like a villain from Game of Thrones, Rasputin wouldn't go down easily. Legend says he survived the poisoning and the bullets, but ultimately drowned in the icy waters. His death was a signal of the coming end for the Romanovs. With Rasputin gone, the family's last hope of stability disappeared. The Romanov Massacre. By 1917, Russia was in full-blown revolution. The Romanov dynasty, once invincible, had fallen. Tsar Nicholas I abdicated the throne, and the family was imprisoned by the Bolsheviks. But for the Romanovs, the real horror was yet to come. In July 1918, the Romanovs were taken to a basement in the city of Ekaterinburg, where they were executed by a Bolshevik firing squad. Nicholas, Alexandra, and their children were gunned down, and to make sure they were truly dead, the soldiers bayoneted the bodies. It was a brutal, bloody end to a once great dynasty, and just like in Game of Thrones, no one was spared. The Romanovs had ruled Russia for over 300 years, but in one night, their reign was wiped from history. The Romanov legacy, truth or myth? The Romanovs left behind a legacy of power, betrayal, and scandal that rivals even the wildest stories from Game of Thrones. Were they ruthless dictators who got what they deserved? Or were they victims of their own success, torn apart by revolution and betrayal? One thing's for sure, their story is filled with more crime, intrigue, and tragedy than any fictional kingdom. From Peter the Great's family betrayal to Rasputin's sinister influence, the Romanovs ruled with fear and met their end in a way no one could have predicted. If you thought the Romanov story was crazy, wait until you see what we have in store next. Hit that subscribe button for more episodes of Histories.